The term recession has been in the news a lot lately. For many, just hearing the word can cause fear, which can rapidly escalate into panic once the cost of goods soar and interest rates rise. You have every right to be concerned, but don't let fear overwhelm you and cause you to make hasty financial decisions. Instead, focus on making positive, well-informed decisions that ensure your financial well-being for the future. Hello and welcome back to the Finance Guardian channel. For today's video, we will talk about how to prepare for a recession. Avoid this mistake. Take a few simple steps to reduce your risks, and you'll weather the economic storm. So hit that subscribe button and the bell beside it, and let's get started. What is a recession and how does it affect you? When you understand what a recession is and how it affects your personal finances, you are more likely to establish good financial habits, so you will be able to cope when times get tough. Recession refers to a significant, widespread, prolonged slowdown in economic activity that lasts at least 6 months. In at least 2 consecutive quarters, the nation's economy experiences a combination of negative factors such as rising unemployment, plunging retail sales, and declining production and manufacturing. The effects of a recession on individuals and families can be felt in many different ways, many of which you will notice in your daily life. You may notice higher costs for groceries, gas, and clothing as the cost of goods increases. You should also prepare for the immediate impact this will have on your finances, since prices for services such as haircuts and home repairs will also increase. High inflation during a recession can adversely affect the stock market, so you can expect your investment accounts' earnings to decline. It is advisable to keep an eye on your retirement accounts and investment portfolios. However, remember that stocks rise and fall constantly, so try to take everything in stride. Will history repeat itself? According to some experts, record inflation rates and economic disruptions resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic and global conflicts indicate that a recession is imminent. The lack of financial stability impacts the confidence of American households, but there are ways to prepare for a recession. In addition to prioritizing certain bills and reducing your debt, recession-proofing your finances can be done in several ways. While economic turmoil comes and goes, when growth rates drop into the negatives and unemployment rates rise, the economy is at risk of falling into recession, which the U.S. has experienced twice in the past 15 years, with the 2008 housing crisis and the 2020 COVID-19 recession. The economy is clearly showing signs of recovery, but record high inflation is keeping experts on their toes, and while you cannot control the market, you can prepare for a recession and protect your investments. People naturally tend to panic when they hear that a recession could come in the near future. Having spent so many years working towards a financial strategy that keeps you out of debt and helps you achieve future goals, the thought of a recession makes you feel like all those plans could crumble, especially if you fail to prepare properly. Instead of making quick decisions out of fear and anxiety, do research to understand what you should and should not be doing to help recession-proof your finances. To assist you in doing that, financial experts suggest that you avoid the following 4 mistakes when gearing up for a potential recession. Number 1. Selling out of the market. The prospect of a recession might make you wonder if it is the best to withdraw all your money from the stock market and keep it as cash, especially if you are a rookie investor. However, this is not always the best course of action. One of the major problems with this strategy is the investor has to be correct twice for it to be effective. Initially, they must sell when the market is relatively high to the market bottom, and as part of their participation in the market recovery, they must also identify a point at which they will re-enter the market. One good example is when the market dropped by negative 57% between October 2007 and March 2009. If an investor had sold at the beginning of that period, they would have felt fairly good about their decision as the market continued to drop. Nevertheless, the investor would also have to buy back into the market once it recovered from the point at which it initially sold. However, deciding when to reinvest can be difficult, tricky, and not so obvious. Instead, evaluating your portfolio and deciding what level of risk you are prepared to accept is best. Number 2. Spending money on something other than debt. Avoiding debt as much as possible is especially important when a recession might be looming. It is a common mistake for many people not to pay down their debt before a recession. Unfortunately, many are unaware of its negative impact on their credit scores. This can prove useful during a recession when you require new credit, new insurance, or a refinance on your mortgage to afford your life. Make sure you pay your bills on time and avoid opening new lines of credit, particularly credit cards. Your credit score determines your future interest rates and insurance premiums. Number 3. Putting retirement contributions on hold. A looming recession might make you inclined to stop contributing to your retirement fund to conserve cash, but that would be a mistake. The process of saving for retirement can already be difficult and can be fraught with friction. If you have already made regular contributions, keep the momentum going. It may take years for a recession to develop, and you cannot stop contributing to your retirement to await one. Number 4. Not building an emergency fund. The importance of an emergency fund probably dawned on you in your early 20s or at any age after you were laid off from your full-time job and didn't have any cash to get you through the next few months without a paycheck. If there is another time, you should keep 3 to 6 months worth of expenses on hand in case of a financial emergency. It is during a recession. You should keep your emergency reserve in a high-yield savings account to ensure that it continues to earn interest. How to prepare for economic collapse. The worst-case scenario for preparing for economic crisis is having emergency funds that are never used. A greatly preferred option is not planning for the next recession at all. The following tips will assist you in preparing for a recession by considering your lifestyle. Getting ready for a recession when you are retired. Before making your portfolio changes, you should always consult a financial advisor. This is especially true if you are approaching retirement age and cannot afford to slow your growth or lose a large amount of money. Your retirement savings are likely to be safe even then. Most investors freak out when their investments begin to lose value, but if you've invested for retirement, you're probably in it for the long run, and the market may recover all your losses before you need them. If you worry about losing investments, consider moving some of your equities into fixed-rate annuities. These offer guaranteed returns no matter what the economy does, and they provide assurance in the event that your retirement savings dwindle. The most important thing to keep in mind when making financial decisions is to understand your retirement needs. Establish your retirement income goals, your current expected income, and your essential retirement expenses to determine a budget for your retirement. The Retirement Age Calculator can help you determine your expected retirement age and income so that you can begin planning for it. Getting ready for a recession when you have no money. People who live paycheck to paycheck are often the most vulnerable to economic downturns. Not only do they experience high unemployment rates, but they are also less likely to have an emergency fund to fall back on. Try to identify opportunities to increase your income if your finances don't allow you to save. Consider negotiating a raise, creating passive income, learning a new skill, or freelancing. Make sure to reduce your spending so you can save money to build emergency savings. Even $5 a week can grow into $260 a year, which you can reinvest and expand. Having a tight budget does not have to permanently disrupt your lifestyle. If you focus on saving one month, then ease up and follow your regular budget the next month, and so on, until you have accumulated sufficient savings. What jobs survive when a recession hits? A recession-proof job is typically less volatile and can even grow during economic turbulence. Healthcare, public safety, education, utilities, funeral services, financial services, social work, and legal services are all staples of society that consumers will always buy into. The most substantial losses can be expected in luxury industries such as hospitality, real estate, and automotive as people tighten their belts and reduce spending. There will almost certainly be economic fluctuations in the future, so it's important to be prepared for the possibility of a recession. During a recession, unemployment often spikes and stock markets decline, so it's smart to protect your investment and career. And that is all the time that we have today, folks. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. And if you're new, subscribe to our channel to remain updated about our future videos. We'll see you next time.